Hello, I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. We're going to get to Dorian. We're going to get to this work week's forecast as we're all heading back from Labor Day, perhaps on the Bay Bridge behind me here at Sandy Point State Park. I'm seeing a severe thunderstorm warning has just come in for Dahlgren, Virginia until 7:45 p.m. and a severe thunderstorm warning for Charles County until 7:45 p.m. as well. I'm looking at radar and these storms are heading to the southeast. Another round might try and come through the Beltway before too long this evening. And let's see, I've got a lot going on here. We've got some severe thunderstorms are possible. This is a 1 out of 5 threat, a marginal threat for severe storms through maybe 8 p.m. tonight. Greg, no snow in the forecast. Liz, hello, happy Labor Day. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight's low, 68 degrees or so. Mugginess is creeping up, but still decent tomorrow. Let's say dew points around mid-60s, so not too summer-like just yet, but mid-80s can't be ruled out tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, there's where some mugginess is coming in overnight. 71 degrees might be as low as we get, low 70s downtown, setting the stage for Wednesday's heat, which we'll talk about in a moment. Here are some of the positions for tomorrow. Looking at Dorian, still crawling away from the Bahamas around the Florida coast. Our front tonight that is setting off these storms is pulling away, and then look at Wednesday. Dorian is still crawling along, nowhere near us just yet, but another cold front is coming toward us on Wednesday. This is going to pull up some warm, muggy air from the south, increase our rain chances. But I just want to show you, Dorian is moving very slowly. We have time to watch it if and when it approaches near us, maybe Thursday into Friday. We're not sure when. We do see maybe some wind, more likely than not, a little bit of gusty showers, let's call it, around DC on Friday, but maybe as early as Thursday, and we'll discuss details in a moment. But look at the near-term forecast. Decent tomorrow as we go back to work and school. More summery and muggy with heat index values maybe near 100 degrees on Wednesday, and then maybe cooler for the work week, a little bit cloudy, a couple showers roving through, a little bit breezy Thursday, and maybe Friday. We do see some gusts, maybe near 25 miles per hour. Confidence still low right now. The exact track of Dorian intensity and how close it gets to us is uncertain, but we are watching it. Rain in the near term before we even talk about Dorian. This is through 8 a.m. on Thursday, not too much. Pretty dry southeast of town, a little bit more concentrated, maybe some thunderstorms more often than not along the Blue Ridge, maybe along the Bay. And then we zoom out and look at the precipitation through, again, Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Dry here along the southeast. No rains from Dorian just yet, having not even moved into Virginia Beach by Thursday morning early. But look at Thursday night into Friday night, Virginia Beach. If the track stays the same, which is a big if, Dorian could put down a quick 4 inches there in Virginia Beach. But look at this, it does, the main rain and main wind will stay in the Tidewater, Virginia, and the southern Delmarva. Even Salisbury doesn't make out too bad. But yes, along the coast, there could be some coastal erosion, and we again have a couple days to watch it, but wave action could increase ahead of Dorian Thursday into Friday night, perhaps. That's the time frame we're looking at. There's a lot to digest here, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. Tropical storm force winds are what we're looking at in this graphic with the color. They could arrive as early as, let's say, Thursday evening around DC, but look at this green. That indicates only a 5 to 10% chance of tropical storm winds with the current track projections. And the center could meander here or there, east or west, a decent amount, maybe a 30% chance that it goes east or west of this cone that the National Hurricane Center has put out. But we think most likely impacts are Thursday night, Friday night time frame. Nothing too major at all. We might just at this point see some gusty showers around the Beltway on Friday, so we will keep you posted. And looking way ahead beyond Dorian to next work week, temperatures could be a little bit above average. Precipitation, well, we could dry out behind Dorian. Below average chances for precipitation, and we could use it. The Dorian track presents an interesting opportunity for rain, at least if we can get it without damaging winds. We are fairly dry. This is the last week worth of rainfall, mainly north and west of town. South and east of town have not seen too much, so we have a few spots abnormally dry in Virginia and Maryland, and yellow in DC abnormally dry as well. And just also for a quick note, daylight lovers, I like to track this as the days get shorter and shorter toward the equinox. We are below 13 hours of day length, so please keep that in mind. Let's take some questions. Anita, heading to Western New York on Friday. Hopefully no surprises. You should be okay in Western New York. Thanks for tuning in, Anita. Debbie, 25-mile wobble either way could make a difference, and we need to watch that. Indeed, this 5 to 10% chance of, in the green here, tropical storm winds maybe Thursday night into Friday night time frame. Timing and strength TBD, but we're watching it. Just a slight chance, 5 to 10% of tropical storm force winds around DC. and that's around 39 miles per hour or a little greater. So we're not talking hurricane force winds for the region. Just keep that in mind, and no major flooding rains as it appears now. So yes, indeed, the steering currents are weak, Teresa, and Gil, will wind cause higher tides on the bay? There's already a coastal flood warning, because of the king tide associated with the new moon lining up with our tides perfectly on this side of the planet. So we have a bulge of water being pulled up by the moon. So this is not Dorian related right now, but wave action could increase. And yes, the bay could see a slight rise in water ahead of Dorian as well. Friday, it doesn't look like a rain out around DC just yet, Rodney, but stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com and follow all the latest touching my face. All the links will pop up below. Go to CWG.news/Dorian for all the latest, our hurricane briefing on Dorian, and for the local impacts, go to CWG.news/DorianDC. Anita, thank you for tuning in. Chris, I'm glad you like the visuals. I'll get back to Christian. I'll get back to those in a second. Sean, Lake Anna is looking okay at this time. No major rains or winds that I see for Lake Anna just yet, but again, we'll watch the track as it gets closer to us Thursday into Friday. And yes, I have my tie on, my weather tie, Kathleen, from an old weather textbook. I love it. And yes, we do need some rain, Keely, so that is a possible benefit to the storm. Let me see if I've missed anything earlier. Let's see. Laura, thanks for tuning in. Donovan, happy Labor Day. Karen, thanks for tuning in. And let's see. Aaron, really hoping for some rain this evening. It might help the pollen. Yes, indeed, Aaron. And let's check radar really quick on that note. There are some severe thunderstorm warnings around Dahlgren and Charles County, Maryland, I believe. Let me double check. It is for Charles County, Maryland until 7:45 in Charles County and Dahlgren area. So that could help if you're looking for some rain in those areas. And indeed, Elizabeth, we're watching Dorian come up the coast. But impacts here in DC look as early as Thursday, but more likely Thursday night to Friday night time frame. Sean, thanks for tuning in from Orange. No major rain or wind forecast for Orange at this time as Dorian comes up. Thursday night to Friday night, most likely time frame if we see any impacts. And again, an if needs to be inserted there. A slight change in the track could change what we're expecting. So please stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com as we get closer, and follow us on Twitter, of course, at Capital Weather. And Rehoboth weather on Wednesday could be okay, Petra. This front that is coming through on Wednesday could be delayed after dark with some storms in Rehoboth, so that could be a decent day. It will be hot and muggy, so I'm a little bit envious if you get some good beach weather. But remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. And Wednesday to California on a flight, Kimberly, you should be okay. And high surf is possible, Christopher, each day going forward toward Thursday, yes. And no major storm surge yet expected, Gil, on the Chesapeake Bay. Let's see what else. Thank you for tuning in, Matt. And what else do I have here? Drew, cold front coming through on Wednesday has some moisture to work with, but yes, not a widespread thunderstorm possibility just yet. Drew, good question. Patricia for Washington, just rain. Thanks for tuning in. Sean, hello, and thank you for tuning in. Seth just started barbecuing in Kensington. You should be okay, but when thunder roars, head indoors, please. Let's look at radar really quick. It is generally heading to the southeast right now, the rain in the areas. Diana, thanks for tuning in. It dropped 20 degrees in Prince William after the rain. That's great to hear. Liz, Thunder North Arlington. Heather, thanks for that report. Rodney, appreciate you tuning in. John, Delaware beaches on Friday. I do not recommend that at all. Even if the track shifts a little bit with Dorian going up the Delaware area on Friday, does not look like a good call. This is Thursday and Friday. We think winds are possible. 20 to 35% chance of tropical storm force winds around the Delmarva. So please, if you can, don't cancel the plans just yet if you have a little more time to watch Dorian as it comes up the coast. It is crawling, everyone, just crawling. So we have impacts Thursday into Friday nights for the region, more likely Thursday night to Friday nights. But as early as Thursday, tropical storm force winds, 5 to 10% chance around DC, could arrive as early as Thursday evening. So just keep that in mind if you are risk averse and want to know what the earliest possible wind arrival could be. But main rain right now and wind are staying along the Outer Banks and Virginia Beach area. Let me pull that up really quick. Here is estimated rainfall through a Saturday morning. And look how the heaviest rain really stays in the southeastern Tidewater area right now. This, of course, assumes that Dorian scrapes by the Outer Banks and stays offshore. But any track changes could move this rain back and forth, east or west. So please stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com as we get closer. Justin, thanks for tuning in. Andrew, you're ready for the 70s and the 50s. Let's look at the week. It does get cooler behind our cold front. on Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, details of course to be determined with Dorian's exact track and intensity as it approaches the DC area. As early as Thursday, we could see a few impacts, but we think right now just some gusty showers around DC on Friday. But stay tuned, and for all the latest links, you can touch on my face popping up below. You'll see our briefing on Dorian at CWG.news/Dorian, and for local impacts, go to CWG.news/DorianDC. It's a holiday today. Sorry about the tie, just a little bit serious with Dorian approaching us. David, thanks for tuning in. Here at Sandy Point Beach, 80 degrees or so, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge behind me. I don't want to know how bad the traffic is. If you are coming back to the city, please drive safely and carefully. Take your time, take a break if you need to. I can imagine it's heavy traffic, but here on the beach, a little bit breezy, a little bit nice here at 80 degrees at Sandy Point Beach State Park. Andrew, thanks for tuning in. And Drew, Dorian's remnants will bring us a chance for some, honestly, Drew, I think that Dorian will head toward Maine and New Brunswick, and even Cape Cod needs to be careful after Friday night, Saturday afternoon time frame. So of course, track timing and impacts of Dorian we have a lot to see. We have some time is the good news, but here's what we're looking at. Dorian is still over Grand Bahama, just north of Grand Bahama, causing more havoc. It could approach slowly the Florida coast, but we don't so far think it will make a direct landfall there. It will skirt the coast and maybe making an impact on Cape Hatteras region on early Thursday morning, perhaps as maybe a Category 2. But of course, the National Hurricane Center, stay tuned to them, and you can follow us here on Twitter at Capital Weather and on CapitalWeatherGang.com. And yes, we do, Janae, it's not out of the question that it does hit the Outer Banks. That is currently where the track is taking it as a Category 2 hurricane. Very late Wednesday, early Thursday morning, I believe. We don't even think that it makes the nearest pass to DC. Dorian doesn't make its nearest pass to DC until maybe late Thursday into Friday. So yes, David is very slow. The steering currents are not steering it toward us very quickly, but that's good news that we have time to watch it. So please stay tuned with us over the next 48 hours. Impacts will arrive no earlier than Thursday, it looks like, as of now. Gusty showers maybe on Friday is what we currently think around DC. But if you go toward the southeast, toward Virginia Beach, some serious rains and maybe some strong tropical storm force winds are possible down there. So please keep an eye on it. If you're around the coast here on the Delmarva and down in Virginia Beach, it is possible Dorian's center will be much closer to you and staying offshore, we hope, right now. But please stay tuned to the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, us here at CapitalWeatherGang.com, and on Twitter at Capital Weather. Marianne, thanks for tuning in. Karen, thanks for tuning in. And gusty Chris on Friday around DC, I think around 25 miles per hour as it appears now. But as you go toward the coast, it is possible we see some tropical storm gusts, 25, maybe 35% chance on the Delmarva coast. As denoted by some of these colors here, which I know is a little bit difficult to see. Let's zoom in a little bit for you. There's DC, 5 to 10% chance only of seeing some tropical storm gusts arriving as early as Thursday, but more likely Friday, if at all. And then here along the Norfolk area, 25, 30% chance there. In the yellow, maybe 35% chance of seeing some tropical storm sustained winds of 39 miles per hour or greater. David, thank you for tuning in. Western Maryland, Joanne, should be okay with Dorian, but do stay tuned because a track shift toward the west could shift all of this toward the west as well. We have a couple days to watch it, but unfortunately that also gives Dorian a couple days to shift its track east or west. So please stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com. And Alex didn't say before that the high temps were going to be lower this upcoming weekend. So yes, for Thursday and Friday behind this cold front on Wednesday, but it could go up a little bit. The humidity goes down, but temperatures could go up a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. We think it's a decent weekend. Low, medium confidence when looking that far out, but we could have a decent weekend behind Dorian, dragging down some drier air from Canada. So that could be a silver lining behind the hurricane. Katrina, thanks for tuning in. And Sarah, thanks for tuning in. It's moving so slowly because there just aren't any steering currents. And I had this really cool animation. Let me see if I can find it really quick. On water vapor, check out this animation. This cold front today that's moving through in water vapor, it's trying to pick up Dorian, but it is not having any luck. It's just stuck over the Bahamas there. And it's just not getting attached to this cold front, this trough that's coming down out of Canada. It's just too weak to pick up Dorian. There's nothing there to steer it. It is just spinning and spinning, waiting for the next front that will maybe affect, yes, our area with maybe a few storms on Wednesday. So let me show you that cold front coming through on Wednesday. This is not the right one. I'm gonna go to this on Wednesday to show you our cold front that could produce some storms on Wednesday. Hot and muggy on Wednesday. Mid-90s can't be ruled out. Heat index values near 100, but it is going to slowly attract Dorian northward, and that's why maybe as early as Thursday we could see some impacts, but more likely Thursday night, Friday night time frame as it makes a close approach to the Outer Banks. Hopefully not making an impact, but we will see. This track of Dorian could shift a little bit, but we are watching it as it slowly grinds to the north. Again, we have a couple days to watch it, but this tropical storm force winds could arrive as early as Thursday evening, but more likely on Friday. So we will keep you posted. Chances are low that we see any medium to major impacts around DC. Coastal areas of the Delmarva down to the Virginia Beach, yes, you need to probably make some plans just in case it does approach a little bit closer. So far, just heavy rain is what we're looking at for Virginia Beach, perhaps up to 4 inches if I can find that for you. There's the 4-inch marker for Virginia Beach. This is through Saturday morning. The storm is moving away by that point, but Dorian may have put down 4 inches and some tropical storm gusts down in the Virginia Beach area as well. So Delmarva and Virginia Beach right now are the main areas of concern for some medium impacts. And of course, all along the coast here, wave action will go up. A little bit of storm surge is possible as water piles onshore a little bit as well. So we need to watch that for some beach erosion along our mid-Atlantic shores. Driving okay to Myrtle Beach on Saturday, Nancy? Yes, but that of course depends on what the impacts to South Carolina and North Carolina are in the next 48 hours. So as it stands now, I think the interstate should get you there on Saturday, and it looks like it could be clear behind Dorian. Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I hope you saw my answer about why it's moving so slowly. There's no steering currents to get Dorian away from the Bahamas and Florida. And Sam, thanks for tuning in. And Katrina, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope I've answered everyone's questions. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang here at Sandy Point State Park. The Bay Bridge behind me. I hope you are not driving over it right now. It is a decent time here on the beach, quieting down. I need to get out of here soon. They are shutting it down, but 80 degrees here near sunset at Sandy Point State Park. The beach here is lovely at 7:23 p.m. Let's go through things one more time really quick. I believe I have time before the park rangers kick me out. So yes, we are talking about Dorian. Here's a radar image. It is just hunkered just north of Grand Bahama Island. It is not good, and looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning coming into Warrenton, Virginia until 8:15 p.m. And let's see, I think another one came in as well. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Fauquier County until 8:15 p.m. as well. So please follow DC weather alerts as well. And not only that, but our other Twitter account at Capital Weather on Twitter as well. So radar, yes, indeed. We've got a little bit of hail, some wind moving southeastward. These storms are moving from northwest to southeast this evening. So please stay tuned just a little bit longer. We've got some dynamics in the area with some isolated severe storms possible. We are seeing these warnings pop. A cold front trying to move through, and it's unfortunately dissipating in the region as we go into nightfall. But right now, this is a 1 out of 5 on the scale of severe potential. This green just indicates isolated severe storms are possible tonight, but they should die down a little bit after sunset, which is very soon. Tonight, not too muggy, but still 60s for the region. Not exactly comfortable, but dew points in the mid-60s are moderately moist this time of year. Tomorrow's okay, mid-80s for temperatures, mid-60s for dew points. So it's an okay day for commuting to work or school. And then you can see these temperatures don't get very cool for tomorrow night, 71 degrees downtown. That is indicative of some muggier air moving in. It's going to feel more humid. Looks like this cold front does move offshore that we're seeing right now. It moves offshore for tomorrow. Dorian's still stuck down here tomorrow. Steering currents remain weak. But this cold front trying to come toward us on Wednesday is actually what starts attracting Dorian toward our area slowly but surely, moving northward toward what we are worried about, a possible impact on the North Carolina Outer Banks. Now, tomorrow, again, decent. Wednesday could be summery around here. Maybe mid-90s, heat index values near 100. And of course, heat index is when you combine the heat and humidity, the temperature and humidity together. It could feel like near 100 on Wednesday. But behind our cold front, cool, cloudy on Thursday, Friday. Maybe some gusty showers on Friday if Dorian gets close enough. Gusts so far only, maybe around 25 miles per hour forecast. But the track can change. This is subject to change. Please stay tuned over the next couple days. The good news is we have time to watch it, but it remains low confidence. We're not certain on exactly the track intensity and timing of Dorian as it approaches our region as early as Thursday, but more likely Thursday night into Friday. Setting up, though, a decent weekend. That's the silver lining. Once we get past Dorian, it could be okay. Rain through Thursday morning, mainly sticking northwest of town, maybe over the bay as well. Kind of the good news. So far, it's dry southeast of town. Zooming out, here's again through Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Even Virginia Beach is dry. The Dorian rains have not arrived just yet, so that gives you a sense of timing. We have time to watch things, but Thursday night through Friday night, looks like 4 inches of rain is possible around Virginia Beach, and I hear the Rangers blowing the whistle, so I will need to go. But just this is to demonstrate right now, if the track stays as it is forecast, Dorian's rains and winds mainly stay in the Tidewater and Delmarva area, so that's good news for here in the DC area, and we could use a little bit of this rain southeast of town. It has remained a little bit dry. But again, stay tuned to National Hurricane Center and CapitalWeatherGang.com. Touch on my face and popping up below, you'll see all the links you might need. CWG.news/Dorian. And for local impacts, we talk about those under CWG.news/DorianDC. Tropical storm force winds are what we're talking about in the colors here. Green for DC is 5 to 10% chance only of tropical storm sustained winds. They could arrive, if they do at all, as early as Thursday evening, but more likely Friday is what we're looking at. And again, here's the track and the black line there, the cone of uncertainty, which only encompasses 60 to 70% of the track. It could veer a little bit to the left, which is west, a little bit to the right of my right here, and that could take it to the east. So we need to watch it as it gets closer. And thank you for the updates. You're most welcome, Joanne, Anna. It's affecting a whole lot of people. I couldn't have said it better. And David, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the beach now here at Sandy Point State Park, 80.5 degrees. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang signing off. Please follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. And for the severe weather alerts, there might be a few more tonight. We've got some severe storms moving through. Follow DC Weather Alerts, our other accounts on Twitter as well. And we're going to be watching Dorian. For all the latest briefing on that, go to CWG.news/Dorian. Touching on my face, you'll also see links below to the latest forecast, the PM update at CWG.news/latest. And for local impacts, we've discussed those under CWG.news/DorianDC. Have a good start to your work week. Let's hope traffic is not too bad getting home. I hope you're not having a terrible time on the Bay Bridge if you are doing that coming back from the beach. Thanks, Liz, for tuning in. Have a great start to your week. And again, we have a couple days to watch Dorian for possible impacts as early as Thursday, but more likely in the DC region on Friday. So watch it with us, and we will calmly take everyone through the details in the coming days. Bye for now.